Welcome back to Hot Off the Presses. I'm Duncan.
I'm John.
I'm Ronak.
Yeah, this is our guest,
Special
Ronak.
guest.
Rock on. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Ronak.
Oh yeah, I'm a sophomore at aerospace engineering. I've been at the Expo a few semesters now. So
Yeah, no, you've been at the Expo as long as I have.
That's true.
Yeah, and I'm considered
Yeah.
ancient now at the Expo, which is
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, why don't we just dive into a couple of the headlines for this week. First off, there was student organizations such as the Students for a Democratic Society and the Young Democratic Socialists of America hosting a protest against the conflict in Iran and specifically Trump's military involvement in Iran as well. So, yeah, that happened outside the Armory this week. The Olympics were happening as well, and two Purdue Global students who were both luge contenders did pretty well. Did pretty well in the Olympics. Good on them.
Yep. Good for those individuals.
Yep.
The question is, does Purdue Global count, and does Purdue get credit?
Purdue kind of wants us to think that.
It's for the viewer to decide. But
It is.
Congratulations to those individuals. That's a great accomplishment.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking about Purdue, the administration released a press release this week, just officially sort of putting it out there, denying that there is a ban on international graduate students. Yeah. Now, they've said this many times before, but this was a more formal release. This wasn't in reaction to necessarily like a piece of news that just came out. They said essentially the media misreported the situation, and it sees the increase in enrollment of international students as a positive, although there's no proof that there has been an increase in enrollment of international students because admissions data for this year has not come out yet. So
yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. Of course, they can deny an official ban because they don't have the ban in writing.
Yep.
Most likely, they don't have the ban. The ban's not official. But if you're advising all of these admissions people to not do it under the table, then of course the ban doesn't need to be official to happen.
If I come into the office, Ronak, and I tell you, hey, you're not allowed to write any stories about XYZ, but I never put it in writing, like that's sort of this.
It's a ban, right?
Yeah.
And you could be like,
and I could be
there's no official stance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can write about XYZ officially.
Yeah.
But unofficially. So, yeah, it's kind of that situation. I think, as an opinions person. Anyway, but swim and dive. Let's talk about some good Purdue sports. Swim and dive. Max Miller, a junior, clinched the 1 meter title at the Big Ten Men's Swim and Dive Championship. Good on you, Max Miller.
Yeah, very impressive.
A lot of applause today, and we love that.
Yeah, it's good to see Purdue students, or Purdue Global students, I guess, succeed.
Hey, this was a Purdue student. That's wonderful.
Fully counts, without a doubt.
Yeah. Also, there was this fun ad that the College of Engineering put out in Monday's paper, which recognized outstanding engineering teachers and just gives a full list. Ronak, you're an engineering student. Why don't you shout out like one of your favorite teachers?
For me, I'd shout out Professor Gay and teaches air mechanics 1 and 2, and I think higher classes than that. His tests kind of bad.
Kind of bad.
Kind of surprised you on that.
But
his actual lectures, making sure you know the material is great. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. Wait, so if his lectures are so good, but the tests are so bad, how does that sort of correlate?
It correlates to a pretty good curve after.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about SK Hynix here for a second. There was recently discussion about it in a city council meeting. I feel like I've said that 60 billion times.
There's been a lot of discussion about it in city council, yeah.
Anytime we talk about city council or anything in the past like year, it feels like it's been SK Hynix related. Of course, SK Hynix wants to come in and build a big, huge semiconductor plant in West Lafayette, hoping to bring a lot of industry to the area. Mung Chang really prides himself on this. It's like one of his, he's put it online. It's like one of his top accomplishments at Purdue was getting this multi-billion-dollar deal, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like 4 billion.
Not
4 billion.
4 billion. That's a lot of billions.
It's a lot of
But yeah, so there was a sort of a protest at the city council, or the community rallied against SK Hynix at the city council, saying water is life, talking specifically about the T's. Do you guys know how to pronounce this? T's? Teays. I leave that up for you to pronounce, the viewer. The Teays aquifer. And they were talking about it, specifically about how SK Hynix possibly could pollute that aquifer. And they were worried about that. I mean, this sort of harkens back to the paranoia about the LEAP pipeline, I feel like. And I feel like you did a couple bits of reporting on that, Ronak. Any opinions about, or any thoughts about, like, the recent protests?
I mean, they've been going on since like it was first announced last year.
Yeah.
I think to some extent it's almost on the company for choosing such a like almost comedically bad spot. It's like one end you have a neighborhood, one end you have a neighborhood. You have like a daycare, I think, and like local rec center, and you put a factory in the middle of all of that. Like, you're gonna get some pushback no matter how much you talk about safety.
That's a fact.
I feel like that's just where it all started.
And I mean, what I find interesting is that, like, we keep saying, oh, it keeps getting brought up, but the community sort of realized that, because they've realized that their actions, their words don't seem to have any effect against the West Lafayette City Council, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, Natalie Rondo in this article says she was saddened to see that these types of protests against SK Hynix haven't seemed to gotten through to the council. And she said, quoted, saying, "It's frustrating to come in here time and time again and see people consistently reiterating the same points."
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I'm all that surprised, though, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's probably something that, I mean, I would have to think it's a very vocal minority, right, in some sense.
I agree.
So
yeah. I think there are concerns about, like, SK Hynix planning, like, oh, it's decently close to neighborhoods, like, that's not great. Yeah. In terms of aquifers, typically the government's pretty good about regulating what goes into the water. I mean, I'm of course ignoring Flint, Michigan right now, but now it's fine. But anything else with that? Yeah, I think it's going to bring a lot of industry to the area, so I'm interested to see how this all plays out. Let's talk about a more fun topic, Boiler basketball. We're in March now. March Madness coming up.
We are in March now. Yeah, they play today. Actually,
they do play today. Who do they play
as
today?
of
Wisconsin.
when we're recording this? They do play Wisconsin. Yeah, today.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. Kind of sucked that they lost to Ohio State and then dropped a bunch of spots in the poll. Probably, you're trying to secure like a 1 seed in March Madness. That's probably impossible now, I'd have to think. So
that's not happening.
But yeah, because you probably need to be, you'd have to be in the top 4 probably, or the top 8 to be a 1 or a 2. And so we're probably going to be like I don't know, maybe a 4 or 5 at this point. I think we were a 4 last year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
I think this is still part of all their plan. This is a better story than us just going out and winning the whole thing. I think they're told not to play.
guy's very hopeful.
I know for a fact. March Madness, they're going to come out swinging. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, Northwestern. We beat Northwestern.
We did, but really, if you didn't have the excellent shooting performance by C.J. Cox, there was no way that we were going to win that game. It started off really poorly. It looked bad.
I love C.J. Cox. One of my friends has a class with C.J. Cox.
No, yeah, he'll be. I mean, I hope that he does not transfer. I hope he stays here, and he'll be a great Purdue player for a while. I hope.
Please stay, C.J. Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very hopeful. How far do you think we're gonna go in March Madness, Ronak?
I mean, as a Purdue fan, I think we're gonna win it all.
Yes. Yes.
Realistically, I feel like Sweet 16 Elite 8 is probably where we tap out.
Yeah.
No way. This is the dream team. And they don't want you to think it's the dream team, but they're going to come out and it's going to be like, this is the greatest Boiler basketball team of all time.
I think it really that's not going to happen.
Why?
I think even if it's kind of at a point where I think even if they win it all, it will be unique and that it will be the first time we've ever won it all, but I still feel like they're maybe not the best team of all time that we've had. Which I know is kind of a weird thing to say, but like I just feel like we were so dominant. Like the year we had Edie and we went to the championship that year, we were so dominant, and obviously we lost because we ran into a super team in the championship. So I think there would still be debate over it. Now,
we lost because Edie was the team. Edie was the team. Now we actually have like a solid lineup. It's not just like based around one person.
Yeah, but I just think when you think about like last season, what happened is like I think we were a 4th seed in March Madness, and you just end up playing, the number 1 seed Houston in our part of the bracket, and it's probably going to happen again where. It depends on, and that was a close game, right?
That was a great game.
It was a great game, but the question is like, who are we gonna get in our part of the bracket? If we get someone who's really dominant, it's gonna be pretty tough. I mean, yeah. I mean, we're a good team. We can beat anyone, but
we can beat anyone,
but that doesn't mean that.
Did you play Stratego as a child?
Yeah, is that the game? Wait, what game is that?
Yeah, it's the game with like the
little
spy and the like 2 and like the bomb, and you sort of set it up on your side.
Yeah, and
like
you don't know it's like on your side.
Yeah, you can't see what. Yeah, so there's a piece in this game, and it's called the spy. And what the spy does is whenever it is attacked, it loses, it dies. That's bad. But whatever it attacks, it wins, even if it's a 10, which is the highest number it goes to.
Yeah.
I feel like we are the spy of March Madness. I feel like we can beat any team as long as we go out punching. As long as we have our heads in the game, we're there. If we believe we will win.
It's kind of like early on when we played that Iowa State game, right? And you think, okay, Iowa State rolls in, like beats our asses, and the question is like, did we just have a down game? Because we have, you have bad games from time to time. It looks like Iowa State's just a great team, actually, and it looks like they were just better than us.
What is Iowa State's record?
I'm just putting it out there.
The last 1 seed, I think.
No way. As of early March 2026, the Iowa State Cyclones football team. No, wrong one.
That AI overview.
That AI overview not helping. Okay. Okay. Overall, 24-6. What are we? Ooh.
We have 7 losses.
I think we have 7.
Yeah, 7 losses.
What are they ranked? Does it say what they're ranked?
No. Wait.
I mean, they're definitely ranked, though. I mean, we're ranked. They're definitely ranked.
As of early March 2026, the Iowa State's men's basketball team holds a 24-6 overall record as of March 5th, recently dropping in rankings to around 9.
Okay.
Lower than us. Right? Are they lower than
No,
us?
no, I don't.
18.
I don't think
15
so.
right now.
We're like,
We're
I
in
think
the
we're
teens
15.
somewhere.
We're 15, I think.
Man, this is embarrassing.
So I'm just telling you right now. I hate to like raid on the parade, but I mean, again, I'll just say what I said.
Yeah, we're
We
15.
can beat anyone. We're a good enough team to beat anyone, but there are teams that are better than us going into March Madness, I think.
We will see.
Yeah. Hopefully we click it together and yeah.
We got that spy power. Okay. Moving on. Let's move into our dive topics. Ronak, you had this great article in the Monday edition about Senate Senate seat 22. No, oh my gosh. Senate seat 23. There we go. Okay. Please take it away.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Republican primary in a seat that went pretty darn red in 2022. It was, I think it was like 60-40 was the general election result. So it's really, unless the Democrats have, a fantastic year come November. Which,
They could.
Which could happen.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know if it'll happen for the Indiana State Senate, though. I'll be honest.
I don't think so. I don't
think, yeah.
Quite conservative, but it's interesting to see the divides amongst the primary candidates.
Yeah. And it's something we talked about before in one
we
of our
did.
episodes. We talked about it was when redistricting was like maybe going to happen, and I guess
talking about the difference between MAGA Republicans versus more traditional Republicans or like core value Republicans.
I mean, that's basically the fight in this primary is like, because they're both really conservative people. Like, it's not like Derry is some, like moderate, like lefty.
No.
He's, voted pretty much in line with most of the, Republican ideals. He even says that, like, he has 100% rating from, some, conservative organizations. His voting record also is just like very conservative. It's really just like stylistically whether they come down more in like the MAGA camp side or like the sort of Mitch Daniels.
So do you think it has more to do with like, because I mean, when we were talking about it before, it was like, Deary did not support redistricting. Trump was like, do it or I'm going to throw a fit. And then Deary didn't do it. And then Trump's throwing a fit. I mean, that seems like because policy wise, it's like what you're saying. It's like they're not that different, but it just kind of seems like.
Yeah, Trump has endorsed the other candidate in this race, despite Deary being the incumbent. Copenhagen, who lost last election cycle to Deary. Was there anything in this sort of platform, this running of it, that she said is different from her last election campaign?
I mean, not really, as far as I can tell. She said that she lost 2022 because the vote, like what she calls true conservatives, was split two ways. Because the 2022 race, I think it was four ways, and Deary won with 31% of the vote. Second place guy got 27. Copenhagen got 23.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, some like blowout win for Deary.
No.
What she was saying is that the votes were split between her and someone else, allowing Deary to win.
Yeah.
I see. So, but now it's just her and Deary. That's interesting. Why do you think we're not seeing the multiple candidates? Why are we not seeing a 4-ticket race?
I mean, my guess is that Trump's endorsement probably cleared the field a bit, and she's in the lieutenant governor's office. She's the government affairs director, I think, for Northern Indiana. So I'm guessing some combination of those two probably cleared the field.
Absolutely. But what's interesting that I think, who did you have? Did you have a politics professor?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What was their name again?
Professor Crossan.
Professor.
Yeah, Crossan.
Yeah. Professor Crossan said, it's in low information races like this one. Crossan explained that endorsements from Daniels and Trump would likely help voters quickly decide who to support. So honestly, this probably is a war of endorsements. So Trump has endorsed Copenhagen, and Daniels, our former president, Mitch Daniels. I go to Mitch Daniels' School of Business. Keep on rocking. But so Daniels has endorsed Deary, which is very, very interesting.
Yeah. I thought it was also interesting, like crossing another thing. Ultimately, the reason there's a primary challenge is because the Trump White House is angry that Indiana didn't do what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little confused. What is a low information race like this one mean?
I mean, it's a down ballot race. It's state senate seat in general, which like people aren't usually tapped into. And then it's a primary in May. So like just those two things, people probably aren't gonna.
People don't care as much versus like 2024. You know,
which is interesting because it'll probably. I mean, I don't know. You know, things are changing all the time, but I would think that the more local race would actually affect your life more. Probably.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I mean,
that's the thing.
You know,
people do not pay attention enough to their local government because that affects them more on a day-to-day, usually, than the federal government. The federal government, it probably has the most overall effect, maybe. But like your state government impacts you day to day, and people are just not interested. People are not keyed in. I mean, I think it's also a thing where it's like not as many people are talking about it. People are talking about what's going on at the federal level, but not so much what's going on at the state, what's going on at the local level. Yeah, I think that's an issue. Anything else you wanted to add specific to either Deary or Copenhagen's campaigns, or how you plan to cover it in the future?
I mean, hopefully there's going to be a couple more stories about like where they stand on the issue specifically, but I mean, again, they both seem fairly similar in terms of values. You know, they both kind of speak on the same things: lower taxes, you know, smaller government. It's just really redistricting is where that divergence comes.
Redistricting. Interesting. Well, bring the politics a little closer to Purdue. A Purdue professor plans to run for Congress. Purdue professor. Visiting professor of music, Drew Cox, has declared his candidacy for the House of Representatives to represent Indiana's 4th Man, I have been like my mouth is not working this morning. 4th congressional district for the Democratic Party, which includes West Lafayette. Let's talk about this a little bit. Ronak, you didn't write this article, but I think it's interesting that Cox has sort of taken the mainline Democrat stance on a lot of things. Cox says that he plans to protect the Hispanic community from ICE by requiring judicial warrants for searches, seizures, and increasing federal oversight. He talks about women and bodily autonomy. He talks about AI and how AI can be helpful, but doesn't want everybody paying it. It just seems like he's taking the mainline Democrat stance on nearly everything. Am I wrong? is my question.
I don't think you're wrong, and I think for the most part that's a good thing. I mean, I think if he's, you're running for Congress for Indiana, right? So if you go out here and say, if you go out here and are extremely like drastic in what you're gonna do, I think when you have a state that already votes Republican, they're already maybe not gonna vote for this guy. If he goes out there and is like completely way out left, I think maybe he would ruin his chances of winning anyway. So I think it's the right strategic move for him. But yeah,
being more moderate.
Yeah, I think being more moderate helps you.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He in the second paragraph here, he says, Cox is fighting for a society where all Americans have a chance for the American dream, consisting of a society in favor of everyone of all backgrounds. I think that's quite powerful. I love the American dream as an idea.
Me too.
I guess the thing is that like is it attainable in the current like state of things?
I mean, realistically, even if he wins the election,
yeah, will he be able to impact?
Again, I don't even know if he'll be able to win the election. I mean, Indiana's so, to the right, but yeah, I think the impact's limited. I think it's limited what you can do, but it's good. I mean, we all should want, people who want the American dream accessible for everybody, and we should want all of our representatives to have that.
And
so,
not only that, I think it's important to have politicians that aren't necessarily from political backgrounds, coming in with a new perspective, a different way of seeing things. And this leads into your column.
Do you like business people
as
politicians? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that necessarily. I think like a different approach always sort of helps things along in terms of creating innovation, creating a different way, a different system of things. I mean, if you look at what Trump has come in and done, it's very different. It's very different than what we've seen before. I think we're sort of seeing a party shift as well as a result of somebody from not a political background coming in on the political stage and just changing a bunch of stuff. Who knows? Drew Cox's expertise in music, with him being a Purdue visiting professor of music, might help him a lot in this race for Congress in Indiana. Maybe he finds a way to get Hoosiers on board with this platform through his musical expertise.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't disagree with you that the unique perspectives can be nice, but I don't think it's something we need. Like, it's not really a plus in my book if someone has that. It's just like,
I don't want like cookie cutter. Everybody has the poli-sci education. Everybody, after you get the poli-sci education, you run for Congress, you run for this. After you run for the House of Representatives, you run for the Senate. That's so boring. That's so dry, and it's so removed from the passions of the people that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that should be the system.
I mean, I feel like you gotta know how tax policy works before you actually want to try changing it. I feel like a lot of the issues you actually gotta know.
No, you're right. You're
I
absolutely
feel like,
right.
I mean, here's my thing too. Is like, what's the goal of the government, right? And if you walk into it with a purely business-driven background, which I wrote a column about this, read it.
That's an order.
That is an order. Read it. You must read it. If you walk into the government with a purely business background mindset, like, we need to save money and we need to make money and we need, the goal of the government's not really to do that. It really should be to support people. And that means you have to spend money to support people, right?
I agree with you. I'm just saying, if you have different people in there, they can touch different groups of people in different ways, or find a way to attack a problem in a totally different way than what you expect. Than what 400 people all having the same essential education in the same essential things that would probably approach it the same way.
I mean, that is true, but I think there are downsides to that too, is that you can attack it from a different way, and sometimes that difference good, but sometimes you're just you don't know shit, and you're just going around doing whatever. Let me just write an executive order for this and an executive order for this and send my federal agents here, and let me just do whatever I want because, I'm the CEO, right? So I'm not Mr. President, I'm the CEO, and I'm leading the company, right? I just think it's not always a great thing, and it can be. And maybe a professor of music, that is an interesting perspective to have, right? Academia. But
I also think it's different presidency-wise versus legislative-wise. Because legislative-wise, you have a bunch of people in there. You have a bunch of people balancing that out, You might have, 10 business people in Congress, but there's so many more other people that sort of, they have a vocal minority of let's keep this efficient. Let's run it like a business. But then you have other people being no, these people need these things. So it's sort of, I think that creates a nice balance, as opposed to a single executive being okay, this is how we're running things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the balance is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diversity of thought.
Wonderful. What a wonderful
different
thing.
backgrounds. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else anybody would like to say? No? Sweet. Also, thank you so much for coming down here. It's quite early in the morning. And by that I mean it's 10:47 on a Saturday morning. So
but hey, we'll
thank
get
you
out
so
of
much,
here.
Ronak.
Maybe are you gonna watch Purdue basketball today or?
Yeah, probably. When is it on? Ugh.
4 o'clock. I think every time we record this episode.
Yeah. We record this episode.
I feel like you're always telling me that you haven't watched the game that just happened. You know what I mean?
It's been a bad couple weeks,
Like he's always talking about, well, I got my theories and they're just pretending, to not play as good and they're just losing on purpose. I don't think you've been watching the games, though.
I have exams, John. I'm busy. I'm a busy man.
Oh. I'm so sorry. You're right.
Yeah. I just it's like, I have a group of friends who will just come in, watch, to my apartment, watch Boiler basketball and leave. And that's their thing. And they just haven't done that recently. So I have not been watching the games. I've not been keeping up, unfortunately. But I will be keeping up because March Madness is coming up. I'm watching the game today. I'm doing those things.
Reach out to your friends, maybe. No,
I definitely need it.
I mean, bond over similar interests. And
yeah. Okay, totally. Sweet. Thank you so much. This has been Hot Off the Presses. Have a good day, everyone.
Goodbye.